Are we live?
Yeah.
We are live. Okay.
We're live, buddy.
The countdown didn't work. All right.
The countdown didn't work.
All right. Well, Fish, we've got another good one. We're going to take everybody to Myrtle Beach for some golfing with AJ Gohil. And then we're going to have a star from the Strip, singer-songwriter Michael Shapiro, who fronts Reckless in Vegas. Plus, Fish, your take on the 2021 NFL schedule that's just out. And how about those NBA play-in games? Plus, are the Hartford Whalers coming back? Wow. Plus, some kudos to the PGA and also my pick for this week's PGA Championship. Plus, we have our Schmuck of the Week. It might be you and me with that countdown. And who's got swag? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Daly Fish. John Daly here with Eric Snyder, a.k.a. Fish. We are coast to coast coming to you from Las Vegas and Myrtle Beach. We talk about sports, entertainment, and everything in between. Fish, excited about tonight's show?
Always. It's a pleasure to be with you, and let's roll.
All right. It's time for the daily grind. Here's what we are grinding on. First, the NFL schedule came out with some interesting matchups and travel concerns. Fish, take it.
8 teams have 5 primetime games. But the Buffalo Bills are really pissed off because they made the playoffs last year, and you know they have a great history going back to the 90s with Jim Kelly. They got 3 primetime games. Some more tidbits, John. The New England Patriots play 3 games with teams coming off a bye. So some coaches get pissed off about it. The problem I have with the schedule is when teams and you hear coaches complain about the schedule. You never hear good teams or good coaches ever complain about the schedule. You just play, John, the games that are played. The only time I've ever complained about a schedule was in 2019 with the Raiders. They had a 5-game road trip, which is unheard of. But other than that, you know, the schedule, the Thursday night package, the Sunday night package, the Monday night package is terrific. And we're about 122 days away, buddy.
Okay, not that far. All right, next, the NBA play-in games are starting this week. In fact, they've actually started now. We could actually see the Lakers, Warriors, and Celtics not make the playoffs. The Celtics are actually playing the Wizards now. Lakers and Warriors play tomorrow. That's Wednesday night. So, Fish, I kind of like the play-in games. I think it brings in the 9th and 10th place teams into play for that final week. You know who doesn't like it? The 7th and 8th place teams. What do you say?
I don't like it. I think it stinks. You know, the NBA, they're always the schmucks of the week. I mean, you have 3 teams, the Celtics, the Warriors, and the Lakers, that are the icons of this league the history, and look at the Warriors have done, you know, the last 5-7 years. And you have a chance to lose those guys. And whenever you expand the playoffs, you're always going to get a team that has a losing record. And it just doesn't bode well for the league. And I know for a league that's trying so hard to build their ratings and have lost ratings, I get it. I don't like the play-in format at all.
Okay. I kind of disagree with you. I think it's kind of good. I think it keeps interest going. But
well, you're a schmuck.
Well, that's true. And that's happened many times. All right. There is talk that the Phoenix Coyotes may be leaving the desert Southwest for my old hometown, Hartford, Connecticut, and revive the Whalers. Now, what are you hearing?
That's great. Yeah, my sources tell me that it's got a great chance to happen, but the problem is where they're going to play. You know your landscape back there better than anyone, but the town of Hartford, Connecticut never wanted to lose the Whalers, and it's a huge hockey community, as you know. And the Coyotes, you know, for whatever reason, the NHL is doing so well, and most of the teams are in the black, but the Coyotes just can't draw. I don't know what's going on because here in Vegas, we're in the desert and we draw, and the Coyotes have been a decent team, and they've had Wayne Gretzky's involved with the organization for a while, but they can't draw, so they're looking to move, and Hartford is the number 1 destination.
Yeah, I've talked to some folks in Hartford, and they still think they may be going to San Antonio, that they won't be going to Hartford because Hartford might not be able to get an arena or to put an arena up. On the other hand, you know, with the whole COVID thing and people leaving the cities, the bigger cities, they're going to places like Hartford now. So a lot of people from New York are actually moving there. So you might see a little bit of a revival. The question is, can they do it in time and actually have, a pro arena for a team like that? So anyway, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that as well. And finally, on the grind, here is a big thank you to the PGA. This week is the PGA Championship. It's at Kiawah Island near Charleston, South Carolina. But the PGA did something brilliant in changing the schedule. They actually moved the PGA up to May. They moved the Players' Championship to March so it could be in Florida, but not in the blistering heat. And they made the British Open, appropriately the home of golf, the last major of the season. And then they moved up the FedEx Cup to August, so we crown the champion before the NFL season starts so people can pay attention to it. I think it's brilliant. What do you think?
Love it. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, I'm a big guy. I love watching the majors. I'm one of these guys that watches the majors religiously. I do the same thing with tennis. But other than that, I don't really watch golf. But the majors I get into. And I think anything you can to market that sport. People say, I have friends of mine that says, oh, watching golf is like watching paint dry. BS. There's great drama in golf. And who do you like? Who do you like in the PGA this weekend, John?
All right, here's my pick. I'm going with Xander Schauffele. Now, he has never won a major. He has won the Tour Championship, so he's not a rookie, and he's not a rookie when it comes to big events. So I think Xander Schauffele's time has finally come. So that's who I'm going with.
I like Dustin Johnson. I like his story. I like the fact that, Wayne Gretzky, I just brought him up. That's his father-in-law. And he's got the hottest wife on the tour. So that's another thing that I like looking at. She gets to put the jacket on top of him. I mean, the guy, everyone knows the guy's had a problem with substance abuse, and he's a good golfer. And you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Spieth, because I'm a Texas guy, University of Texas guy, get in there again and get some of his accolades back. And there's a lot of great stories. And let's hope down the road we get Tiger Woods back on the course.
Yep, I agree. I think Spieth has a good chance because he's playing good golf now. So we'll definitely see. We'll talk about that next week. Now, if you have a question or comment, drop it in the chat box here. And if you have some comments later, send us an email at dalyfish1, the number 1, dalyfish1@gmail.com. And you can post to our Facebook page at daily.fish.5. Again, that is on Facebook. All right, time for some binge watching. All right, Fish, mine this week is The Killer Inside, The Mind of Aaron Hernandez. It's a documentary on Netflix, and it explores what went wrong with the Patriots tight end, leading to not only a murder conviction, but also a suicide. It is riveting stuff. It also brings in his sexuality and his concussion history. It's about 5 hours long, but it's great on a cross-country flight. Fish, what's yours?
I loved it. I watched it, and they're going to be amazed at some of the telephone conversations. You hit the nail on the head. I'm watching a new one that came out this year called Jupiter's Legacy. It's with Josh Duhamel, and he plays a character named Utopian, who's basically Superman. But he has a family. He's a family man. And his whole family has superpowers, but his daughter's a supermodel, and she's a crackhead. And the son can't live up to his father, and the wife just tries to be the wife. And they've got to have the whole family dynamic, yet save the world. And I thought it was terrific. I binge watched all 8 episodes in one day. So Jupiter's Legacy is also playing on Netflix. Take a look at it, John.
All right, I will. And, I've actually played golf in a couple of celebrity golf events with Josh. So would you like to get him on the show?
Absolutely. You kidding?
We'll definitely work on getting him on the show. All right. And now it is time for something fishy. Fish, you're going after the coddlers.
Okay, I'm going to lean in on this one. Stop coddling your kids, okay? I'm a dad. I had my kid in Little League, and I never wanted him to get a trophy for finishing in 7th place, okay? It doesn't work. All kids care about when they're a young kid after a game is going to Dairy Queen or going to whoever has the coolest pool and throwing water balloons at each other. And now it rises to the next level. I'm from LA, and everyone's calling me, and they're saying, oh, we're so proud of the way UCLA played against Gonzaga. No, don't be proud of them. Just win. Stan, let's go to the NFL. Last year, the Raiders have a home game against the Chiefs, a very big game, which really could have cemented them in a long playoff run. And they get the lead, and they lose in the last minute and 30 seconds like they've done the last 18 years. And I get phone calls and texts. Fish, you should be so proud of your Raiders. I'm not proud of them. I don't coddle them. Just win your games. Vince Lombardi, a great coach in the NFL history, said, you show me anyone that takes pleasure in a moral victory, and I'll show you a loser. Quit coddling. You want to be that kid, John? You want to be a guy that dates a girl and bring her back to your house, and she's looking at your trophy case, and it says, 7th place, debate team, Santa Monica High School. 6th place, Braves, Junior Little League. No, okay? Let's win. Sports is about competition. Quit coddling. I'm sick of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, tough love fish, we call it. Now, at the same time, too, there is a great book out there on this. It's called The Coddling of the American Mind, How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Up a Generation for Failure. And it is a fabulous book. It is written by Jonathan Haidt, and it's spelled Haidt, and also Greg Lukianoff. I agree with you. I think parents should read this book. It's really good. So, granted, we're coddling too many people, and too many fans got to stop coddling their teams. There you go. Good take on that, Fish. All right. Still ahead, we have Ginger Snaps. She's going to school us old farts on some young talk, I should say. All right. Thanks for joining us again. Again, we are Daly Fish. We are live on Facebook Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific. We air on DB&A television on Roku, Amazon Fire, and soon Apple TV. We are also streaming 24/7 on the DB&A television website, which is at DB&A, so it's ANDA, television.com. Follow us and also like us on Facebook at daily.fish.5, and you can subscribe on YouTube. All right. It is time now for our Schmuck of the Week. Who's been schmucky this week, Fish?
This idiot. That is Ricky Schroeder. I'm going to lean over and look at this moron. Now, everyone knows he was a big childhood actor, but he recently walked into a Costco and berated the entire staff, everyone, about wearing a mask. Now, we've all gone through this pandemic. We don't want to talk about it. We're trying to move forward. I say to Ricky Schroeder, and I say to everyone out there, John, I want to hear your take on this. Quit bugging the staffs of these places. Quit going. There's 1,300 incidents on airplanes of people berating the flight attendants over masks, okay? Don't go into a restaurant. I'm in the restaurant business and start screaming at the bartenders and the servers over wearing a mask. Go to management if you have to, or just look what the mandates are. This moron walks into a Costco and had people in tears. First of all, saying who he is. No one knows who the hell this guy is. He's one of the biggest schmucks ever. You know what? Stop with your bullshit, Ricky. All right, John, take it away.
All right. Now, let's see who's got the swag. Who you got this week there, Fish?
Wow, this is such a great story. John, this is Shohei Ohtani. This guy, now you talk about a throwback, and you're going to talk about your comparisons of what, to the old school. This guy leads the major leagues in home runs, and he leads the major league in ERA with 2.10. He's a pitcher, and he plays outfield for the California Angels, I guess it's called the Los Angeles Angels. I'm sorry. I'm so excited talking about this guy. He's got such swag in what he does. The only guy that reminds me of him is a guy that played two sports, and that's Bo Jackson, who went to the Pro Bowl and the All-Star game in baseball in the same year. What's your take on the guy, John?
I think this is a great choice, and I saw him beat my Red Sox on Sunday. He came up with the run down in the ninth with 2 outs. First pitch, he jacked it into the seats. They won 6-5, and avoiding a sweep by the Red Sox. But I agree with you 100%. He's kind of like Babe Ruth, but he's potentially bigger. Babe Ruth never pitched and hit at the same time for the Yankees or the Red Sox. He pitched for the Red Sox, got traded to the Yankees, then he became the hitter when they realized what a great hitter he was. He didn't pitch for the Yankees at all. Ohtani has a chance to be MVP. Now, I got some sources in Japan, and they say Ohtani actually made contract decisions on his career based on teams allowing him to play both positions rather than how much money he had to make. So that's why he ended up with the LA Angels. And I think it's a great choice. And I certainly enjoy watching him. He's a great hitter, and he's a great chucker off the mound. No doubt about it.
What a great story. Baseball could use a story like him. And now it's a stats game, right? Can you imagine if he leads the league in home runs and ERA? What a great marketing tool for Major League Baseball and for international baseball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, now we have our drink of the week, and we're going to toast who's got the swag, and we are toasting with – go ahead, Fish.
Sake. We're doing sake, all right, because guess what? Ohtani needs this, man. He's great. Great sippy. Oh, John, give us a little history of sake, or that's not history, but tell us, basically
It's a rice brew. It's not distilled. It's brewed, and it's you can have it cold or hot, and it's just a traditional drink, especially in Japan, that you would have when you're having dinner. And it's great. It's just for us Americans. You can sip it at night, and it's a great refreshing thing. Anytime you're having Japanese food, I would definitely go for it.
Love it.
All right. Our drink of the week, as well as our schmuck of the week and who's got the swag, is sponsored by Shucks. If you're in Vegas and you want great seafood like oysters, crab meat, and shrimp, the place to go is Shucks. They have 2 locations, but you want to go to the Shucks in the Northwest. Why? Because you get this guy. Fish does the overnights there. So check out Shucks on Facebook. Shucks is spelled Shucks, and you got to go and enjoy the fish. And I'm talking both ways fish. So, all right. Time now for Ginger Snaps to snap us out of our thinking.
Hey, you did it.
Is it official?
It is. I'm also taking the toast this week. I just dumped a lot of purple confetti all over. I hope you enjoyed that.
Very nice.
The
Congratulations.
most graduation ceremony I'm going to get. So I'm taking my time.
We'll go for it. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I'm so proud of you. That's fantastic. Yeah, you got screwed because of COVID. You can't, but you know what? You did it. You're a graduate of NYU, and that's something that they'll never be able to take that away from you. And
exactly.
So we
toast. You know what? You're not a schmuck. We toast you. You got the swag this week, kid.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think in honor of me having to never take another test in my life, never write another essay, I'm going to give you guys a pop quiz. So today we're talking about slang, internet slang, youth talk, as you like to call it. I'm not really sure what that means, but let's see how you rank. Should I grade you? Maybe I'll keep score. I'm going to shoot off a list of words. Ready? So lit. What do you think the word lit means?
You're drunk.
Okay.
John?
You're aware. A light's turned on in your head.
Okay, interesting perspective. Lit is like definitely more like drunk, hyped up. If you're at a party and it's really happening, it's lit. So enlightened, John, I appreciate that you tried to go that route, but kind of the opposite. Okay, next is clout. What's clout? Students.
Well, I'll go first, John. I think clout is that you have swag. It's usually clout means you have some kind of it could be money, it could be prestige, it could be the way you handle yourself, all that encompassed into one.
I would say power. You have power or control.
Yeah, more or less. It's like popularity, basically. If you do something in a video just so that you hope you go viral, you're doing it for clout. You're not like authentic. Okay, troll. What's a troll? John, you go first.
Troll, I would say somebody who kind of keeps following somebody and keeps bothering them and just nagging them and just not going away.
All right, Fish.
A lot of girls I dated in the early 80s. because I was lit and I didn't have any clout.
You automatically fail this test now. Yeah, a troll is someone who trolls your media and they leave a bunch of stupid comments just to get under your skin, for sure. All right, catfish. I think you know this one, right?
Ooh, I don't think I've heard this one before.
Oh my God. Okay, go for it.
Wow.
Give us the best guess.
Okay, well, if a cougar is a guy dating an older woman and a panther is a girl dating an older guy, is a catfish a guy dating a younger girl? I took a shot.
All right,
help me out, John.
I'd say catfish. It's a fish down south. I have no idea.
Pretty good, Fried. A catfish is when someone looks amazing on the internet and on their dating profiles, and then you meet them in real life and they look nothing like that.
Ah.
Chris,
Okay.
you talk about that a lot. I think you seem pretty concerned with that, so I don't know why you didn't get that one. It could also be someone who like super exaggerated lied about maybe their status or something like that, but it usually is someone who doesn't look like their advertisements.
So would you turn that into a verb like, oh, she catfished me?
Absolutely. A+. Good job.
Okay.
You're
All right,
learning
cool.
grammar structures. I'm really proud of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I conjugate well.
Yeah. Okay. What's ghost or ghosting?
Ghosting. Go ahead.
When you text somebody and they never get back to you, they're ghosting you. That means they're staying out of your life and they're avoiding you. You're ghosting someone.
I think it's that you're trying to be somebody else, and that you're kind of, you kind of follow them around, or you pretend to be them, and you're them when they're not there.
Okay.
What do you think?
A for effort. I appreciate the line of thought, but Fish was right on with this one. When you get ghosted, it means someone just disappeared out of your life. No goodbye, no nothing, no explanation. Just like one day they're there, and the next day you never hear from them again. And it's not fun. Don't do it. Stop ghosting people. Not that it's happened to me at all. Okay, what is it? Well, that's the same one. Okay, this is a good one. What's a Karen?
Oh, Karen.
I know what a Karen is. Go, John. I know
that's just an older woman who just doesn't care, who just kind of says, stick to this dude this way, and this is the way I got to do it, something like that, and you don't have any ideas.
They're the worst kind of people in my business. They're the people that go in there and they're looking for people that aren't wearing masks and saying, you know what, I'm going to call the health department. Those are people that you know what they are? They're rats. That's what they are. They go on Yelp and they give you shitty reviews about stuff like that, and they weren't even in your restaurant. That's a Karen.
Well,
I got it. I know it.
Pretty much spot on. Generally, it refers to older women, but could also be anybody can have Karen energy. Basically, it's just if you're super entitled and rude, like if you walk into a Costco and berate a bunch of employees. Or my favorite are people who go into supermarkets with expired coupons and scream at a poor 16-year-old cashier that they have to use the coupons, even though they're expired. You're not special. The coupons are dead. Like, give them up. So that's a Karen. All right.
That's great.
This
is great.
which one's this?
A catch.
A catch.
Like in baseball, when you catch something. What's a catch?
I think a catch is someone that you find, you latch onto, like, oh, she's a catch.
I agree. I'm with John on that one.
Yep. Catch is a full package. All right. These next few have some visual aids. This is an eggplant emoji. What does this mean?
I won't say it because we'll be taken off the air.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking the same thing too.
Yeah, I can't. There's some Italian. I can't say it. But it's an eggplant. Okay.
We're all on the same page, yes. But I will say that sometimes in this modern age, if you are so lucky to be blessed as a person online trying to date men, you will, every once in a blue moon receive the most beautifully worded, authentically crafted proposal for your hand and this desire to go out with you, and they, the most articulate thing, and you open your message and it's an eggplant emoji and a question mark. I feel so lucky to live in a time period where that's how we get asked out. An eggplant emoji and a question mark. No, I don't like eggplant. Thank you.
You know what, Ginger Snaps? I don't feel so bad being old with John because the technological crap you guys deal with, when we ask a girl out, we're right in their face. Or you call them on a telephone. You don't show. Oh, honey, this is an eggplant. You want to go out? And now, go continue.
Yeah. Can you believe that? I mean, can you believe that people do that regularly? Like, what is it so hard to just like a photo or say, you look really pretty, or like, hey, would you like to hang out tonight? Like, even Netflix and chill is a better intro than an eggplant emoji. An emoji? Grow up. Grow up. All right, we have one more. Similar vein, but this is a peach emoji. Oh, you're seeing my reflection in my window. And I think you all can assume what this means.
Is it a peach? Is that what you said?
Peach. Yes, it's a peach. But
Okay.
it is also.
I see. I'm a sick bastard, so I see something different. It means you have a nice ass.
Yeah, Fish, you would fit right in with this generation. Wow, I'm really
proud of you. That's what it means. Look at put that peach up again, yeah. John. I want you to get the inner Fish in you and look at that and tell me that doesn't look like. Show it again.
Oh,
does that not look like?
The second she popped it up, I absolutely thought that. Yeah, absolutely. No, so my inner Fish is working. Definitely.
You're so full of crap.
No, it's true. I did.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So most of the time you get a crude purple eggplant emoji, but every once in a while you get a peach emoji with a question mark. So it's a great world we're living in.
So when you get that peach emoji with the question mark, is that some idiot saying to you, "Do you have a nice ass"? What do you think? Or peachy? I mean, do you? I can't say it. We're too PG. I don't want to be PG rated here because I don't want to talk about smells and taste right now. But I'm a sick guy. All right, and I have to say, some of the emojis you're showing me, they're sexual. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
It's asking if you are willing to do a certain kind of activity in the bedroom. Which is so rude. I mean, it can also be used as like.
You know what, John? We might want to tell the other guests they can't come on today. We might want to extend this. Let's move this on. I want to go on. I want to continue this next week with you. I really do. So we're so proud of you. You graduating. You add so much entertainment to this show. I can't tell you. And the fact you graduated and you're going to become a big star one day. But I'll tell you what. If I was an uncle to you or I was an Italian uncle to you and someone sent you that, there's going to be hitting those sons of bitches that do that to you. I'm sorry right now.
I know, right?
All right.
That is the end of our quiz. And given that I have just experienced 4 years of some of the highest education, I am well aware that I have the authority to make a completely subjective decision about how you both did. So, Fish, you get an A-. And Daly, John, you get a C. In terms of answers, I will give you a plus because of your enthusiasm, but a C is a degree. So don't even worry about it, honestly.
Well, I'm definitely
real quick, give Daly a breaker because I'm in the bar business. I'm around young people like you all the time. So some of these are heard and known. John walks around and plays golf and says hi to old people all the time, and they say, "Weren't you on Real TV? What happened? Why did Ahmad Rashad take your job?" That's his life. That's it. All right.
I did give him a break. That was the plus. Hello, that's the world we're living in. So
I got some credit for it, so that's good.
You can come to my office hours if you need more
help. All righty,
thank you.
We'll definitely do that. All right, she is Charlotte. We call her Ginger Snap. She will be back next week. Now, write to us if you have something you think she should school us on. You can write to dailyfish1@gmail.com, and we'll have more Ginger Snaps next week. Charlotte, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we are just getting started. Up next, we're going to gab with AJ Gohil. First, let's tell you about MedSonics. If you're in Vegas and you're in pain, go to MedSonics. The sound wave technology relieves pain. Now, I have used it. It works for me. It is non-invasive. You sit there for 25 minutes and relax. It doesn't cure anything. It just relieves your pain. The website is medsonics.com, and it's spelled MEDSONIX, medsonics.com. Al is the owner inventor. Tell him Daly Fish sent you there. All right. Let's bring in our first guest. AJ Gohil is with East Coast Golf Management. He's part of the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail, and he's going to take us on a golf tour to golf heaven, what most people call it. AJ, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's good. You haven't had a chance to talk to Fish yet, so this is good. I had to school Fish on all the stuff you do with the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail, and how you and I do a lot of different things there because you get me out there a lot. So this is like prime season right now, huh?
It is prime season, and I was itching all afternoon. I wanted to get out and play golf, and guess what? No tee times for the sales guy. It's sold out. We're having a great season. It's beautiful weather down here in the south. It's perfect golf conditions, and the courses are in great shape. They really are in great shape. So everyone's enjoying it. And, we have tons of locals moving in by the hour. We've got so many new people. So they're taking up some of the tee times too. So I'm looking forward to getting out myself.
And didn't you notice too that almost like once the COVID started lifting, it was like, oh my gosh, here comes the onslaught. People were just so anxious to get away from wherever they were. Let me come down here because I feel it's safer out on a golf course. And you guys had to just see the onslaught.
Yeah. So what happened with COVID was, it was almost like the faucet was turned off.
Can you hear us, AJ?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
AJ freeze up?
No, you're good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm good. Yeah,
John, I think you're freezing.
AJ's frozen.
You're freezing, John. You're freezing.
John, you're frozen,
I'm the
buddy.
one
Too much.
freezing. Okay.
Too much sake. Too much sake, buddy. Yeah. I'm good,
you
right?
Go ahead
Eric?
and talk to AJ since I'm the frozen one.
So
AJ, nice to meet you. Good to have you. AJ, you couldn't center yourself. What are you drinking? What are you bringing to the show? You have a little cocktail in there?
It looks like sake. It's just vodka and water. I'm keeping it clean today. Just pure vodka and water. John taught me that drink. That was easy. But COVID hit. It was almost like closing the faucet. Nobody could come to see us. Hotels weren't allowed to have people here. So luckily for us, the locals had nothing to do. So the local golfers came out and they played, and they brought their neighbors who hadn't played in 10 years. Come on out. Let's, you're either stuck at home or come play golf with us. So it created new business with the locals. And now that we're open, we're safe. Everybody is, socially distancing when they check in. Once you're on the golf course, who cares? It's as safe as can be. Now we've got the locals playing more. We've got the people that hadn't played in 10 years playing more. And now we're getting all of our vacationers. Our spring golf season was very, very good. People just want to get out and play golf. They're just tired of being stuck at home. So we were ready for them. We were ready, and it's been a great season so far on the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail.
Is there is there any mask mandates on the golf course? Do you have to wear a mask when you're playing? Or good.
No, sir. So, when you get out, when you go in the pro shop, just out of respect, put your mask on. And once you're out on the golf course, you can, it's you and your foursome, so it doesn't matter. You and your foursome, and we haven't had any issues with anybody having contact. As far as I know, no one's got sick by being on a golf course and catching COVID.
No. So tell us, AJ, John well. John's an avid golfer. Does he cheat? Does he
John is a fun guy. He's great to be around, but man, when you get on that tee box, he's still fun, but he switches off and he goes into that professional sports mode. Like he's like a champion boxer. Like, you're not gonna mess with John. He's a good golfer. He's straight down the middle. I don't know, 250 plus. But he has the patience. When he's teeing off or when he's striking the ball, he zones out. But as soon as he's done that, he's back to, hey, what do you need? Let me help you, or let's go have some fun. But yeah, John is, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, let's have another drink. That was a bad shot. Let's have another drink.
What concerns me when you play golf is you get that one idiot out there that thinks he's Arnold Palmer, or he thinks he's Jack Nicklaus or Tiger, and gets pissed off when he misses a 4-foot putt. And you guys have fun playing golf out there. AJ, so some of your influences in the golf game, the guys that you looked up to and said, I'm going to pattern my game after, and that you have to, when you see them they make the cut and they get to the final round, you got to watch them play. Who's some of the guys that you're fans of?
I watch them all. I really don't have one particular fan, but Tiger Woods, love him to death. Dustin Johnson, because he was from here. I don't know Dustin personally, but I know friends of mine that were friends of his or roommates in college. So you're always trying to, if you had to pick somebody, you try to pick somebody you have a connection with. So Dustin Johnson, I'm always like, if he's playing and he's doing good, or he's, could be the winner, I'm like cheering for him. But I've always been the guy that likes the underdog. I like the guy that's 40 to 1 to win, and that's the guy I want. Like come on, this can be, a great story on the golf course. Let him win. And I've got some friends that were on the tour, got off the tour, friends that are trying to get back on the tour, and just to see the other side of, you know, the struggles they go through and what it takes to be there. I'm always wanting to support the underdog.
Good. Yeah, and then we just saw that with John. John, can we hear you? You there? Yeah, John, we got a little technical difficulties with John right now, but bottom line is, can hear you now, John? Okay. The Masters. What a great story, Matt. The guys, the Japanese fellow that won it, Matsuyama. What a great story at a great time, and that's what I love about golf. Is you get a story like that brings out the drama, and you watch their path through 4 days of hitting that ball for 18 holes, and it's wonderful. And you go back, AJ, and you look at the Watsons and the McIlroys and their stories, and you watch Tiger winning the Masters a couple years ago. Golf always gives you a story, and it transcends life.
You know, I'm a Rotarian, and Jack Nicklaus spoke to us. We had about 20,000 people at a convention, international convention, and he spoke about, you know, what golf did for him. And you know what he talked about?
Right.
It gave him a life with his family. That was the most benefit that he got. He just said he loved it because of golf. He spent so much time with his family, had fun, and it's funny because we don't think about that, but golf, it's a great way to make an income, and it gives you so much time to spend with your family and have a decent life. I loved watching, you know, the Masters because, you know, you had somebody winning for 3 days, winning for a day and a half, and then boom, all of a sudden there's somebody else galloping behind, and you know, everything they went through to win, all the emotions. That's what golf's about, right? We can have 17 bad holes, and that one hole that we just, everything comes together. You're like, I can't wait to go play again.
So talk about the one hole, AJ, that you and I have played, and it's named after Arnold Palmer. It's called Arnie's Revenge at River's Edge, and I've just profiled it. I can tell you that is to me, it's one of the toughest holes ever. And I don't care. We've seen pro golfers who can't maneuver that hole. Talk about that, because that's something people should play at least once in their lives. Yes,
the River's Edge Golf Course in Charlotte, North Carolina. Arnold Palmer designed it. The Arnie's Revenge is because I think this is not fact, could be 90% correct. Arnold Palmer kept hitting into that short, thin, narrow green that you have to hit into, and he had several attempts. And he finally got it on there, and the revenge was, I think it took about 12 shots to get on the green and land on it. But you've got to have a nice drive. I don't hit it as long as John does, so I have to go to the right, facing the green, to another fairway, which gives me a shot into the approach. While people like John, the single handicappers, they are about 210 yards. Got to go over marshland. And you've got to hit it on a green that from where you're hitting it, it might be 20 feet deep. So you've got to stick it. And Arnold Palmer couldn't do it. He finally got it. So that's the story. He got it. So it's his revenge that no matter what it took, he was going to land on that green. It's amazing. It's just a beautiful place. If that was in Myrtle Beach itself, like, you know, 20 miles closer to the beach, it would be the best golf course in the Grand Strand.
Sure. I have a question for you.
Yes.
I have a question for you, AJ, just out of curiosity, because obviously my parents used to go to a country club back when I grew up in Los Angeles. In your humble opinion, who gets more soccer moms and women, the golf pros or the tennis pros? Boy, he's speechless. Come on.
I'm going to say the soccer guys, because I used to play soccer growing up. But
in the country clubs, you don't really have I'm just saying, you always see these TV shows. We talk about binge watching. There's one on Amazon called Red Oaks, and it's about a country club in Jersey. And the tennis pros and the golf pros in the show got all the women, all the single women that came, the wives that were not happy with their husbands. So it's got to be a great gig.
It's going to be a great gig. If I had to vote, I'd say tennis because the girls can see how limber the boys are.
Great stuff.
Beautiful. Hey, AJ, where can people reach the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail? Talk about the website, and because now being a prime time, they could set up a week of golf if they're coming to visit the area there. Talk about that.
Sure. So the myrtlebeachgolftrail.com is our website. We have 22 golf courses that span the Grand Strand, or the golf capital of the world, however you've seen it out there marketed. And it's Pawleys Island, South Carolina, to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is River's Edge. So we've got 22 golf courses, and you go to our website. We've got different packages made. You could literally, for 10 years, play 4 different combination courses. It's amazing. I mean, we've got designer courses, courses that you would pay, I'm going to say $200 a round, where we have them on a package where you're paying $75. Room and board could be $100 a day. It's just the best value for money, and that's why Myrtle Beach grew in the last 40 years as the destination place, golf destination of the golf capital. Did I answer that question? I'm sorry, I've only had 2 sakis. Yeah,
that's all right. Well, you need a couple more, but talk about the fact you can book other things there. You can book hotels, restaurants, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So what we've done with the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail, we want to make it easy for anybody, right? If you haven't come here before, which is great because of COVID, we got all these new golfers. But even if you have, we've got restaurant partners, we got high-end restaurant steakhouses that people love. We've got places where you can just go and relax in the bar sports atmosphere. We got breweries. We actually have our own official beer. It's called the Trailblazer Beer, and it's at all of our golf courses and selected restaurants, and it's really a nice lager. So we've got lagers for you. We've got restaurants for you to go to. We've got bars for you to go to. We do specials at Nick's Cigar World. If you're once you get to our courses, you can download our app. It's called the East Coast Golf app, and then on there we have locker offers. So might be 20% off in the pro shop. It might be a free appetizer at one of our local restaurants. But most things, even shuttle service. Once you get here and you don't want to drive, well, we've got connections where you have shuttle service. I'll pick you up, drop you off, come back and get you after the round, take you to the restaurant. So it's really like the way I'd like to go and have a golf trip. Once I get to the golf course, I don't want to drive. I want to have a few beers. I want to have, a few mulligans on the tee box and have a good time. Absolutely.
All right. AJ, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. He is AJ Gohil. He is with the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail. He's golf management. All you got to do is go to the website, myrtlebeachgolftrail.com. AJ, thanks for coming on. We're going to have you on. We'll talk about some more golf courses down there, and we'll have you talk about some more vodka and sake as well.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks. Nice meeting you, Eric.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, too. Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right. Check out Undercover Jet Setter, folks. It's travel, food, wine, mixology, and golf. In fact, a lot of Myrtle Beach Golf Trail courses on there. Now, I co-host it and I co-produce it with Susan Anzalone. And she and I, we bring you those great trips with recipes, cocktails, and wines. And it's all on a TV show, all shot off the iPhone. We even wrote a book on it. Check us out at DBNA channel as well, and also on our YouTube channel. If you're in the hospitality industry, we can get you more customers. Contact us at info@undercoverjetsetter.com. Okay, and are you hearing me okay, bud? Because I think we're having a little problems with the technical side.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. So you you look good, but you're breaking up a little bit. You're a little bit. We'll get you. We'll carry you through this thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here because usually I haven't had any problems with that. So, yeah. All right, can we bring on our next guest?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. He is someone you have to see if you go to Las Vegas. Michael Shapiro is a rock star, an impersonator, a musician, and songwriter. Michael Shapiro, welcome to Daly Fish.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
It's great.
Good to have you, buddy. Good to see you.
I got to say, just real quick, I want to say, John, I've never met you before, but after watching you, you're a class act. And then Fish, you got over here. This guy needs a therapist immediately to talk about his sexual frustrations. Jeez. Yeah.
Hey, I tried to be a wingman with you back in the day. Forget it, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
good. It was
that ain't happening.
It's good to be here with you guys.
Thank
It's
you. Great to have you.
you.
And you know, I followed your career here in Las Vegas. To me, you're like a local legend. And I want to talk to you about Reckless in Vegas, something you started. And tell us about the lineage of how you started this. What got you into the rock and roll lore, and where you're going with it?
Reckless in Vegas was kind of a thing out of necessity. We were an original band in the Bay Area, and we did some touring, and things were just tough. We just weren't making any money. And then I got this idea. I had a vision and a meditation, and I saw Reckless in Vegas and lights and dancers and black and white videos of old Vegas, and I was playing my style of rock and roll, but I was singing a Frank Sinatra song. And so that vision sort of gave me this idea. And then I worked with producer Dan Shea, and we did a little research on all the old music that was being played back in Vegas in the 50s and 60s, and all, Rat Pack and Elvis and Tom Jones and Sonny and Cher and all this great music. And we spent a year, but we put an album out with all these reinvigorated versions of those classic songs. And we played it in the Bay Area, and it was a smash. And then word got to Vegas, and we started getting hired in Las Vegas. I wasn't living here at the time. I had moved away for about 15 years. And the fifth weekend of a residency we were doing, I sat up in my hotel room and I said, "Oh shit, can I say shit? Oh shoot, I got to move back to Vegas." So I packed up my stuff and I moved back to Vegas, and it's been fantastic. It's original enough for me to be stimulated because I'm an original artist, but yet it's familiar and accessible to people. People like to hear covers. I didn't want to do covers necessarily. I wanted to do remakes. Our own renditions of them. So that's how Reckless in Vegas was formed. But you know me, Fish. I'm an original artist, and I like to do original music.
Yeah, you are. And John, I saw Reckless in Vegas about 4 years ago, and he does the Everly Brothers song called Dream, and he turns it into a rock and roll song. And I think it sounds better than the original Everly Brothers song, and I love that song. He does the History of Las Vegas. So they're going to appear. Reckless in Vegas is going to appear July 15th at the Italian American Club here in Las Vegas. And then we have another venture with you, Shappy, that you got a new band out called Many Miles Away. Let's talk about that, because I'm going to cover you. You're going to appear with this band June 21st at the Cosmopolitan. So tell me about this, how this started, and tell me one of the band members who's got a real legend as a guitar father.
Well, as you know, Vegas shut down during COVID, and Reckless in Vegas was just getting involved in a residency deal with Caesars Entertainment. At the Link, they were building a room, and then when it got shut down, obviously we got put on the back burner. I started to turn to original music, and a good friend of mine from the Bay Area with the name Miles Shawn, his father is Neil Shawn from the band Journey. And he stopped by here. He was on tour running through here, and he stopped by and said, "What are you working on?" And I played a little song for him on the piano. And he's like, "Well, what do you mean by they? And what do you mean by, why is this word?" That he started to rewrite the song and kind of challenge my writing, my lyrics. And so we started to work together. And before we knew it, with the year we were down, we ended up writing, a batch of songs. We've got 8 of them finished. We've got another 4 or 5 that are up next. And then we ended up getting a record deal with Explorer One Music, which is not totally inked yet, but it looks really good. I hope I'm, knock on wood, I hope I'm not jinxing it by talking about it before it's done. But Miles is he's 33 years old. He's beautiful, and this kid has got to be one of the best guitar players on the planet. And he's a phenomenal songwriter. And I'm a pretty basic songwriter. I've been doing it a long time, but I'm Yankee Doodle. I'm a one-trick pony. And Miles is very sophisticated and deep. And so we started to work with producer Tom Fletcher, who's been around. He did Don Henley, and he worked with Toto and all these great artists. Tom helped us kind of craft them into really good recording songs. And, it's just taken off. We just did it for fun. But this music is some of the best stuff I've ever written. And I think it's partly because I'm collaborating with Miles and Tom on everything. And it's just been a blast. Being shut down and not being able to perform, you turn inward and make the best out of it, And we performed in Salt Lake City a couple of weeks ago. It was the very first first shows we've done, and it was really cool to see the audience respond to this. Because art is a funny thing; you never know. I might love it, but you never know how it's going to work on a cold audience that doesn't know who you are. And we were all very pleasantly surprised and very grateful.
Well, what's so impressive to me is the fact you have two bands. You're appearing with Reckless in Vegas, and you also have Many Miles Away. It's hard to do one band. You have two bands, and you're going to be the hardest working guy in the business, and that's got to be tough on your schedule. But then again, it's two different ways to get your songs out there.
Well, they're two different vehicles, and my wife Jolie is in entertainment. She's a model and a dancer, and she gets it. So there's not pressure there. We have a recording studio in the house, which makes it really conducive to be able to work on stuff. But it's a lot, and I'm managing and driving the thing, and I get tired. But I've loved this thing since my dad took me to see Santana when I was 6 years old at the Aladdin, 1976, and ever since then I just can't get this thing out of my system. I love playing music, and I love connecting with audiences, and I like to put on a show where people come and they're all walks of life and all different moods that they're in, and when they leave with more than what they came with. And that's what entertainment is to me. It's communicating. It's giving people the permission to be authentic. Like John, you were talking about earlier, with that peach, you said, no, I saw what it was, but you were remiss to say it at first. And you know what? You have permission. If you saw ass in that, man, say it, baby. You know it.
Look, he's speechless now.
He's frozen.
Mike, again, because they want to know, and I'm getting some texts and chats. Who were your influences? I mean, you've been playing since you saw Santana when you were 6, and this has been in your blood forever. Who were your influences growing up that really said, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, at a very, very early age, it was Carlos Santana. It was Neil Schon from Journey, Jimi Hendrix, of course, Eric Clapton. My dad was my biggest influence because although he does not play instruments, he loves music, and he constantly filled the house up with music. And he would come home, from the day of work. Every week he would come home with a stack of cassette tapes. He had 800 8-track tapes. It was just always being played around, and I think I loved what it did to him. And of course, we look up to our parents. I look up to my dad, and I did then. He was my hero, and so if I could do something that was gonna pull that out of him, he's very proud of it, and it lights me up. And he influenced me with what's the guy's name? I'm trying to think of. There's one guitar player. Robin Trower, of course. There's one that's not. It's escaping me, but this great
Joe Walsh.
No, well, Joe Walsh too, for sure. Yeah, no question. Yeah, the Eagles were a big influence. I can't think of his name. It's Dave something. He's probably watching right now. He's upset at me that I can't remember the guy's name. But a lot of time, when I started to play, I'm self-taught. So once I started to be able to play, I sort of tuned out of those influences and started to just do my own thing. And then I got back to it because we must always continue to study. And by learning cover songs or studying an artist that's an influence, learning to play the riffs and stuff, we're actually teaching ourselves how to play and how to expand our own repertoire.
Right. Well, Mike, we talk, you and I talk, and you got to tell the story, because how cool is it that you're a Bay Area guy, and we both, your dad, we both love the Niners and the Raiders, and how cool is it that the Raiders follow us to Las Vegas, and you're telling me a story that your dad had season tickets. Tell the audience out there what he could have gotten for just one ticket for the Saints home opener last year during COVID if they would have had fans. That's amazing. Tell everyone.
Well, I don't really follow hockey that much, so I don't know what you're referring to. But I'm
talking about.
Oh, come on! Stop it! You stop it! There must be an internet problem. Yeah, no. So opening season, right? The tickets, the tickets prices were crazy. It was the first opening game last year, and it was against the Saints on Monday Night Football, and the ticket prices were $6,000 a ticket, which is crazy. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So hopefully, we're going to hit some games this year. And by the way, I'm a Raiders fan. I'm not necessarily a Niners fan. My dad is a Niners fan, although I did have a Raiders jersey and a Niners jersey because I did go to a few. I'll admit it, I went to a few Niners games, but I'm definitely a Raiders fan all through and through.
That's great. Well, like I said, I'm going to cover your gig June 21st at the Cosmopolitan, and we're gonna get some. And you sent me some clips of some of your songs. It's unreal, and I followed your career since the late 90s, and John, this is the local. John, you lived there. This is the local legend here in Las Vegas, and you see how hard this kid worked. Now he's got 2 bands. So, Shappy, Michael Shapiro, we wish you the best, and we're gonna have you on again. And
thank you.
It's great having you.
A quick shout out though. So on bass guitar in Reckless in Vegas is Chris Nichols, and drums on Reckless in Vegas is a guy named Jack Roth that I grew up with. We were in 3rd grade together. Jack is playing drums in Many Miles Away as well. And then on bass guitar we have a guy named Trey Ordaz. These guys are phenomenal musicians. So if any of your viewers want to see a great show, definitely come hit that Many Miles Away show for sure.
Yeah, and we'll promote it more as it gets closer on our podcast. And best of luck to you, buddy. I don't think you need it. You're great. How many women have thrown their underwear on stage? How many panties do you have in your lifetime?
You were asking about tennis players versus golfers and soccer players. Man, musicians, man. Dude, are you kidding me?
Look at this guy, John. John, you think you're good? Look at this kid.
Oh, stop, Fish. Come on.
Yeah,
come on. I'm
I'm
going to get in trouble here, but you're in the Jewish Person Hall of Fame for good looks, okay? You blow them all away. Look at this guy. You're HOF, kid.
I'm losing my hair. I'm putting weight on. I mean, you know what? Getting old ain't for, the weak hearted. I was going to say something else, but you gotta exercise, eat well, get good rest. Think positive, feel positive. When life knocks you down, get back up. I mean, it's life is hard, and I haven't had a drink in 15 years, which has been a real challenge at times. But I tell you, every time there's a life challenge, and I walk through it, I face it, and I look for the solution. I transcend and I grow as a person, and I feel like, beauty shines from within. And I've got days where I look like crap, and I got days where I feel I look pretty good. And I like shiny people. I like positive people. I like solution people. I like people who know how to communicate what's going on with them. More of that, please. More of that. And kind. My wife she's trained me. Be kind. I'm not a kind person by default. Like, I have to really work at that. My wife is an angel, and she's taught me how to just be kind. We need more of that too.
You're absolutely that's why we root for a guy like you. And again, best of luck to you, buddy, and thanks for coming on the Daly Fish podcast. And much love, buddy.
Such a pleasure, guys. I appreciate you having me, and we'll see you next time. A great show, you guys. I really enjoyed watching you.
Thank you,
Michael.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you. We're talking to Michael Shapiro, rock star and impersonator, musician, and songwriter. You can definitely catch him in Vegas. I'm so sorry that the connection we didn't have. More
John,
we could do more. That was a great interview. Great hearing him.
John, you're breaking up, so I'll take the spot here. Check out Miracle Flights. The folks there work hard to provide free flights to those in need of life-changing medical care they cannot get in their own community. John's seen it work with many folks. Since 1985, they have provided more than 127,000 free flights. See if you can help and go to miracleflights.org. All right, next week, we have a great show. We're going to get Lisa O'Hurley on. Her husband's John O'Hurley, the actor. You know him from the Seinfeld days, and she makes headlines of her own. She has a new women's clothing line, and she'll be featured on in the Indy 500, and she'll tell us all about that. Plus, she's a great golfer. And we're also going to have Camille Childress on. She is a manager of strippers, and she's going to tell us how strippers, John, made money during the pandemic. And if you think we're raunchy today, hide your ears, your children, your wives, your grandparents. So remember, watch Daly Fish live on Facebook at daily.fish.5. We are seen on the DBNA television on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and soon Apple TV. We also stream live on the DBNA television website at dbintelligent.com, and we are on YouTube. John, we'll get you fixed for next week. You still look great. Thank you for having a great show with us, and it's good to have a mannequin as a co-host today.
I do it. This is what I do really well.
You were great. You were great. And we thank everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And like Mike said, everyone stay positive. Bye, John.
Thanks, Fish. Call me when you're in the car.